a little recap of last year's best anime, at least the last season, winter 2024, and a little look forward to what's going on out there. Now, what we've unfortunately, maybe fortunately, last season was not the best season for anime, in my opinion. There wasn't really much to watch. We went through and we tried a whole bunch. Where's my Crunchyroll? We tried a whole bunch on Crunchyroll, Netflix, some gray sites. Ooh, I can't show you my login, can I? Oh, what's my login? I can't show you my login. Anyways, we really didn't watch anything, complete any series except for, what was that series called? The Talker series. That was it. And even that one wasn't very good. It was okay. Started off with a lot of interesting premises out there. Started off with one of those, and it just it's went down fast from there, but recovered, and it was helpful for it that it was not the greatest season for anime, so I was almost forced to watch it as it was the only thing interesting. Now, I know there's a new Dragon Ball, and I figured there's going to be, at least 50 to 100 episodes of that, so we'll catch up with that later. There was a bunch of, like, Shangri-La Frontier. I just got tired of it. Maybe go back to it later. What was some other ones? Whatever. It just was not the greatest season, so I don't really think there's much out there. We watched the healer that left the party, was kicked out of the party, was the strongest. I don't know, it just got kind of weird in the middle. We made it to like 7 or 8 episodes of that. But just not a lot of good anime out there, not a lot of interesting ones that I found. Probably tried 20 different ones. But what I did find, and the good part about it was I found a whole bunch of good ones on YouTube. I don't know, like some of these are probably illegal, or at least they're in the gray market concerning their legality of being able to watch them, but that doesn't make them any less good. And I'm not going to be the judge of whether something is legal or not on YouTube. YouTube can do that for me if it's their platform and they have systems to figure that out. I don't know if what's put up is legal or not. All I know is that if I enjoyed it. And let's go ahead and start with this year. Like I said, for anime, the new season, is it still considered? I guess last season was fall. I guess this is now the winter season for 2025. We just had some interesting ones come out. We had Solo Leveling season 2. Starts off just as good as the last season, so that looks promising. What is the other one? We had the one where the 40-year-old middle manager gets taken into the army of the Demon Lord. I forget the name of that one, but that one seems, it was decent. It was decent, a little simple, I guess. Might be it. It's probably going to be a one-season type of show, but it seemed it was interesting enough. What was the next one? This one got some bad reviews. The one with the his skill was fruit maker or something like that. He ate the skill giving fruit. He only has one skill, and it's fruit making. His best friend was given the skill of sword master, something like that. And the first episode, I thought it was fine. I give it a solid 4 out of 5, but I think Anime Network gave it only 3.4, 3.5, something like that, and basically call it generic garbage. But that wasn't Anime Network, just the reviews on it. But anyways, those 3 right now have been the only 3 that I've watched, and all of them good. Much better start than the fall for sure. and we're looking forward to Free Ren, and I'm sure there'll be some more hidden ones out there that come out. But let's get back to YouTube and some of the great anime available on YouTube. So this one I'm presently looking at is called Level 1 Hunter has activated the assassin system. All of his skills and inventory are SS rank. And, this is actually kind of a generic, just the title is used to give you an explanation of what it's about. And it's actually accurate, which is rare. A lot of the time they have nothing to do with, they just are interesting titles. And I'm assuming just by non-English speakers, not native English speakers at least. And so sometimes they don't make sense. But this one is pretty well done. And it is exactly what it says it is. We have somebody who's basically not a hunter. And for some reason, he's put into a stressful event. And it creates a situation where this skill system pops up, and now he has a skill system, and it's propelling him forward in life. And it looks like there's almost 9 hours of episodes available. I'm at the 50-minute mark, and it's been a good 50 minutes. Definitely worth watching. I gave it I'm going to even hit subscribe here. Thank you, Hasbik Manhwa. Hasbik. It's been a good hour, and I appreciate that. And that's the one we're currently watching. But if you ever watch any, what do you call manhwa, anime, whatever on YouTube, you are going to get into this state where you just have so many recommendations. It gets easy to kind of just jump to the next one. So this next one I'm looking at here, and I've watched a little bit of, is sorry, there are ads. I gotta see if I can turn that down. Bullies, blah blah blah. Let me skip this. See, bullies put him in a coma, and parents killed the game, and he gained a giant sword and gets revenge. I'm only in. Let me pause this. I'm only in 10-15 minutes of this, and this was not bad. If you like revenge stories, which I'm not really into that so much, but it's been well done for the 10-15 minutes. I'm not a big revenge guy, but best revenge is living well. So, but it's certainly not bad, and I did give it a thumbs up. Make sure of that, and I will give it a subscribe because it is well done. So even if this story is not my particular cup of tea, it's not bad. It's well done. I'm going to give it a longer watch here. A lot of these, it takes maybe 3 or 4 hours to get through the interesting parts of the story, and then after that point, I turn them off. But this one is, I've only 10-15 minutes in. It's very good. We've got episode 70 of He Became the Strongest Necromancer after reborn in another RPG. This one is, I'll use the word a little bit generic. The guy just is basically unbeatable. The toughest thing that he has against him is sometimes he has a little bit of trouble. His biggest trouble is he runs into lots of beautiful women who are all apparently in love with him, and it's a tough life. It's a tough life. But I'm still watching that one. It's actually getting better. There was probably 30-ish episodes there in the middle where it just was repetitious, but in short bites, a little repetition isn't the worst thing in the world. So what else we got? We got Efric Hunter only scavenging until he reaches max level. This one is another one that I'll take a little bit longer look here. 2 hours and 45 minutes out of the 4 hours and 33. Hit the subscribe button. We already liked it. Is this Jin Woo in another universe? I don't know if that's it or not. So in this one, this guy, there's a lot of people in these stories who have sick relatives. I guess that is to explain why they would be willing to do some risk their lives. We call that the cop out, but and it's usually the sister or mother or both are sick, which is kind of cute, I guess, that they just say, okay, just throw that out there. And so he is essentially what they call a scavenger, somebody going in who goes in and cleans up dungeons after or during raids. And as you'd suspect, somebody who's a cleaner, by definition, doesn't get paid a lot of money, but he needs money. So I don't know why he chose that job. I guess it pays better than cleaning in a safe environment, but it's not enough to, actually get him over the hump to pay the bills. It's just, it's kind of a weird premise, but whatever. I mean, we're talking, Manhwa here, so weird premises are okay. Yeah, and I like that. Being called trash is the worst insult in mangas. That's that's the worst. If that's the worst thing that happens to you, somebody calls you trash, then that's okay. But this one is pretty good. As you can see, I'm 2 hours and 45 minutes in, and this is one that I stopped watching, not because it's not good, but because there's just so much good, they call them recaps out there. So, like I said, I know a lot of these are gray market at best. So just be aware of that when you're watching it. There are some that are. So I did a little bit of research because I'm not say concerned, but I was just wondering how the mechanics of all this work. And I do try to write my own stories from time to time. I try to figure out how I can present those stories. But this one, so some of them are basically taken off of sites like TikTok or whatever from China, and I guess they don't respect the copyright over in China, so they just take somebody else's material from China and republish it on U.S. sites. So I mean, I don't know. That seems kind of a little bad, but whatever. I don't know. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to judge that, but judge the actual content. And this is a pretty good one. So like it always is the case with these, this guy, he's scavenging out there, and somehow he figures out how to become a hunter, I guess is I forget what they call the I think it's called hunter in this one as well. How he goes from scavenger to being a hunter, and then what that means to him, and what power he gets based upon the title he gets. So there's this big leap from being a scavenger to being a hunter officially. Well, and the ranks matter too. The ranks matter, and there is this. So one of the issues with some of these recaps, if you haven't seen it, and sort of the quality difference is some of them will switch he and she during the during the recap. So somebody that's a he, they'll say she, and sometimes it's weird. It's oddly consistent. Like they'll just say she every single time, even though it's they'll start with he at the beginning of the story, and then 30, 40 minutes into it, everybody is she. No matter, even if it's an all-guy cast, everybody, it's like, I don't know. I don't know if maybe that is something that was programmed into the translator to sort of catch the people who are maybe using it without paying or something. I don't know. It's just a guess. But it just seems weird that all of a sudden, it will do it well for 20 minutes, and then a person that was a he is now a she going forward. Now, I think it's this one, but it could be one of the other ones. The author, or whoever the translator was, went and just substituted the person's name, maybe to try to defeat that mistake by AI. I don't know if it's a mistake or not. assuming it's not, it's in there for a reason. Maybe it's just to catch people, but whatever. That's all speculation on my point. But this one is pretty good. It's definitely worth watching. It's 4.5 hours. I'm 2 hours and 45 minutes in. Been enjoying it. Let's take a look here. What else we got? This. I was trying to go through this. Leah Fromster's video on demand's 46 views. It's 10.5 hours of him reading manga supposedly, but unfortunately, I got through about 30 minutes of him talking about reading manga, but there was actually no reading of manga. Oh, okay. And here's one that I've enjoyed so far. It's a little bit different. Sorry, a little bit of ad here. This one seems like a little bit higher quality as well. I guess it's taken from the story. Name is Revenge of the Iron-Blooded Sword Hound. 92 chapters. This is a 10-hour and 20-minute recap. I'm in an hour and 11. And this one, I like this premise. It's basically, set back in medieval times, but medieval times in a fantasy land where there are people who have powers, magic powers and whatever. He dies. The guy dies at whatever 30 years. That's where you get the 30 years with. Goes back 30 years. He was approximately 30 years old when he dies, and he's reborn into essentially the same family. He's not born as a different person. I think he's born as the same person. He just is, starts over. There you go. How about that? He starts over after 30 years of experiencing life. He dies, and he's right back. It sort of gave when I read it, when I first started listening to it, I thought it was about him being caught up in a different family. And this is the premise I kind of like, was, these two warring families. And then when he dies, he gets reborn into the other family. I thought that's what it was going to be about, but it wasn't. It was just him being reborn into his own family. But, the dynamics of the family aren't simple. They're not like you have a brother and a sister. In this family, you have a patriarch who sleeps with lots of different women. Apparently, enough women that they have trials against each other, and it seems like it's yearly. It seems weird, but that's something that they didn't flesh out probably all the way when writing the story, but. There was a baby full of rooms, a room full of baby full of rooms. No, a room full of babies, and it definitely gives you the impression that every one of the babies is related to this guy, the patriarch, and one of the things that. I guess makes this one a little bit more interesting. I don't know, interesting. A little bit different is that they do like to go through and just use classic references like the Baskervilles, Crom, things like that, Cerberus. They like pulling from those, popular names out of a hat and basically just putting it on on something and just saying, building these worlds that way. So definitely worth watching. I didn't hit like. I'm sorry. So like and subscribe. Sorry about that. But I think that may be about it for the. I've just been doing a whole bunch of AI stuff. This one wasn't bad. I have to go back and take a look at it. He took the wrong class as a warrior and became a loser. This is actually a fairly common story if you start watching all these manga and manhwa and stuff like that on YouTube. Essentially, somebody was really talented and picked. I don't think I've watched any of this, but I apparently have a subscription to this. This is crap. He cuts out a lot of parts, so I don't know if this is the right one. But the story itself isn't the worst story. I don't know how presenter did with it. But as far as the story itself, it was interesting. As far as somebody was really talented, but the class that he was talented in wasn't popular at the time. He had to choose, and so he chose one that was popular, worked hard at it, got in, and then things changed. It's a nice little thing about life. Being, accepting what you're good at, and being the best at that might be more beneficial than to just jump on the bandwagon. That kind of theme. So this isn't the only time I've seen this particular story told. So I'm not gonna, and that's the thing too with these manhwa. There's tons and tons of I don't know if copy pasta is what people want to call it, but this one I didn't get. I didn't understand this one. If anybody's watched it, I think I'm in 15, 20 minutes, and I've had to rewatch it a couple of times. He was forced to work for 800 years, but awakened the luxurious system of something or other, of ancestral curse. So I didn't get it. I didn't understand this one. If you have watched it and liked it, send me a comment or something, just telling me if it's worth it. Obviously, I mean, it's gotten, the like to view ratio is a little bit, it seems a little bit low, but it's a lot higher than anything I've ever done, so I can't complain about that. So, but I didn't get it. It was just basically a guy complaining about working. Like I said, I'm only 10, 15 minutes in. And I mean, something was about to start happening, but like I said, YouTube just keeps sending me so many good recommendations. I'm, what is that? Oh, I might have to take a look at that. So I am trying to put together some videos for my stories, but, and this is the one that is my favorite still. This is about the Black Scythe, and episode 116 they're up to. So this one's probably close to 8-9 hours at least, if you haven't watched it. Loser became the god of death, Black Scythe. New Manhwa recap. This is part 116. Obviously, there's a lot more. Very, very good, entertaining story about a guy who the only power he woke up with was the ability to, he got 100, I think he got 100 or 99 chances. I guess it's your 100th chance is your last chance. So you get to get reborn 99 times. So this is just the power he got, is the ability to, what do they call that? Reincarnate. Reincarnate. And very good story. It's, the only issue I have with it right now is, it might be 10 hours in, and it doesn't feel like it's even a third of the way done, which is not a bad thing. It's just, is the story going to end? That's one of the problems with these long ones. Do you ever get the ending of a story? And a lot of these, I admit, they don't have an ending. They just kind of, the original author just stops writing, and that's the end of it. So you get kind of a, that's kind of a letdown. But interesting story is an interesting story. You can come up with your own ending, I suppose. But a lot of times these stories, they just end without, like just like any manga out there or anime, they just don't get picked up. Author loses interest. Author just stops writing for whatever reason. And but yeah, so this one is, like I said, there's probably 10 hours worth of material, but the story feels to me like it's maybe a third of the way done. Let's say it's halfway, or even 3/4 of the way. And it's caught up to the source material from what I've read in the comments. But very good. Black Scythe, just a wonderful little story there. Wonderful, I don't know, wonderful. It's just be a feel-good story. I don't know. This one is a particularly feel-good story. But that's it right now as far as what I'm watching. I'm just trying to see if there was anything else that I wanted to mention. Yeah, and that's been what I've been watching over the last couple of days, a couple weeks, and very good stories, very interesting. It seems like there's an unlimited amount of material available on YouTube. Should you be watching it this way? I don't know. I have subscriptions to Crunchyroll and Netflix and Amazon Prime, and we used to have Hulu. I'll subscribe to anything that has some good material on there. But Netflix, there's nothing on there for me right now. I'm thinking about canceling that one for now until something picks up. And Amazon I don't think I've watched anything on Amazon for quite a few years. And that last season on Crunchyroll was like I said, I just didn't care for it. But there's a new season already. Like I said, we've identified at least 3 that we're interested in watching, and the season is obviously very new, and there will be more available coming in the next couple of weeks, we're sure. And maybe we go back and look at what we missed and jump back on in and try them out. I did try the Dan. Is that how you say it? Dan. And it was okay. It reminded me a lot of Kaiju. Was it Kaiju number 8? Is that what the name was? It reminded me of that one a little too much. That one? I thought that was a solid 3 out of 5. And this one kind of reminded me of it. There is some fan service, if you like fan service, in the Dan. But we might finish that one. We caught on to that a little late in the season, and I know that it was chosen as a lot of people's number 1 anime of the year, which with the season with the free ran and solo leveling out there, I don't know how you can make the Dan the number 1. But hey, everyone has their own opinion, of course. But they're good. It was. I'll try a few more episodes to see if it is more interesting. But it's been tough. It's been tough with trying to write my own stories, trying to keep up with the constant. I've got to get 10 different YouTube recommendations, at least 10 a day, for different manhwa. So manhwa recaps. So it's very, and like I said, they're good recommendations. Who am I to say no? I catch 10, 20 different ones, and I have to force myself to say no sometimes, because I know that if I click on one that's really good, I'm gonna kind of forget about ones that I'm watching that are already good, and I have to go back in history. And as you can see, I watch a little bit too much YouTube, and I'm foolish enough to not have a YouTube subscription. I guess that's next on the list. But a lot to look forward to for the new season. If there's anything that you think I should check out, anime or manhwa, or I'm not a big comic book reader, but there's a particular manga, a light novel that is just interesting. I mean, you can see what I like. I've just talked about it for the last 30 minutes. Feel free to put it in the comments, and I'll give it a shot. I just, I can put some of these manhwa on and just close my eyes and think about it, and not even like look at the pictures at all, but like what do they call that? Just an audible, whatever. But anyways, I thank you for watching, and we'll be back with a recap in the future.